Leaving your dog alone can be heart-wrenching. Whether you're heading out for work, running errands, or enjoying a night out, your furry friend can experience intense anxiety, unsure of when or even if you'll return. Unfortunately, many dog owners unknowingly make mistakes that only heighten their dog's stress. In this video, we'll dive into 12 common mistakes people make when leaving their dogs alone and teach you the right way to ease their anxiety. Mistake number 12. Mornings can be tough, especially if you're not a morning person. It's tempting to set everything up the night before, hit snooze as much as possible, roll out of bed, grab some coffee, wave goodbye to your dog, and rush out the door to start your day. But is this rushed routine really the best for your pup? To make being alone easier for your dog, consider sacrificing a few extra minutes of sleep. Yes, we know it's tough. Getting up just a little earlier allows you to take your furry friend for a nice long walk before you head out. While you might feel a bit sleepier during the day, the good news is, so will your dog. By giving them a chance to burn off energy, they're more likely to spend the day napping peacefully, waiting for you to come back. After all, if they're snoozing, they won't have time to feel lonely. Mistake number 11. Leaving your dog alone, especially for the first few times, is never easy. You prepare everything. Set out their food, toys, and fill up the water dish. You give them a few pets before leaving, but as soon as you step out, you give in to that urge to rush back inside for one last cuddle. After all, how can you resist their little face peeking out from the window? You want to reassure them that leaving doesn't mean you love them any less. While this might feel like the loving thing to do, making a big deal out of leaving could actually be doing more harm than good. Dogs often mirror your emotions. If you act like leaving is a big deal, they'll think it is too. Suddenly, what should be a routine part of the day becomes a source of stress and panic for your furry friend. To help your dog feel more at ease, try to keep goodbyes low-key and calm. A quick, casual farewell sends the message that everything is fine, and being left alone isn't something to worry about. Even if it feels a little cold, this approach will ultimately make the experience much less stressful for your dog. Mistake number 10. As tempting as it might be, don't make a huge deal out of your homecoming. This can be challenging, since your pup is likely to greet you like you've been gone for years, even if it's just been a few hours. Many dogs have a habit of reacting as though they haven't seen you in a decade, leaping, wagging, and lavishing you with love. While you don't need to reject their affection, it's a good idea to guide them toward calmer behavior. Jumping up, trying to lick your face, and pawing at your clothes might be cute, but it can leave you with a face full of slobber or dirt-covered work attire. Instead of immediately rewarding their excitement, aim to help them settle down first. Wait until they're calm, then shower them with all the love and attention you want. This approach prevents your dog from associating their over-the-top reaction with being rewarded, making them less likely to work themselves into a frenzy every time you walk through the door. By encouraging a calmer greeting, you create a healthier, less chaotic reunion for both you and your furry companion. Mistake number 9. Separation anxiety can lead your dog to do more than just feel nervous. It can cause them to act out in surprising ways. One common reaction is soiling inside the house. For dogs with anxiety, peeing or pooping indoors isn't about disobedience. It's their way of spreading their scent to mark their territory, which makes them feel a bit more secure while you're away. Of course, if you're gone for several hours, even the most relaxed dog might struggle to hold it in and need a toilet break. If you come home to accidents or notice your dog is desperate to go out when you return, it might be time to hire a dog walker or ask a friend to check in midday. Other dogs might channel their anxious energy into chewing. If you're lucky, it's their toys. But if not, your furniture might take the hit. No matter how your dog expresses their anxiety, it's crucial not to scold them for it. Unless you catch them in the act, your dog won't understand why they're being reprimanded. Telling them off after the fact will only confuse and upset them. Over time, if your dog associates your return with scolding, they could begin to feel even more stressed and anxious about your absence. Instead, focus on positive reinforcement and work on easing their anxiety through training, providing distractions, or arranging for breaks during the day. This approach helps maintain their comfort and strengthens your bond. Mistake number 8. No one enjoys coming home to a messy house, so it's tempting to tidy everything up the night before. But while a clutter-free home might be easier for you, it could leave your dog bored and restless while you're away. Remember, your pup needs things to keep them entertained and mentally stimulated throughout the day. Instead of putting all their toys away, Try spreading them out around the house to give your dog plenty of options to stay engaged. Better yet, add some variety with interactive puzzle toys or treat dispensing toys. These can keep your dog busy for hours as they work to retrieve the goodies inside. Rotating toys daily is another great way to keep things fresh and exciting for your pup. For an extra challenge, hide treats in different spots around the house so your dog can engage their natural sniffing instincts. And if your dog loves to chew, safe chew toys or bones can help relieve boredom and provide a comforting outlet. By taking a little extra time to set up an enriching environment, you're ensuring your dog has plenty to do while they wait for your return. Mistake number 7. Where does your dog go when you leave them alone in the house? Maybe they have a crate they like to nap in if you're only gone for a short while. Even if you haven't crate trained your pup, it's still important to give them a space to call their own. Setting up a den for your dog, a crate, a cozy corner, or even a cardboard box with a blanket, provides them with a safe retreat when they're feeling anxious or overwhelmed. Without a designated spot to relax, your pup might resort to destructive behaviors to relieve stress. Keep in mind, providing a den doesn't mean you have to confine them there. If you prefer to let your dog roam freely, that's fine. A den simply gives them a comfortable place to return to when they're ready for a nap or need a sense of security. It's a small gesture that can make a big difference in helping your dog feel at ease while you're away. Mistake number 6. One of the easiest things to forget in the morning rush is opening the curtains. Like most people, you probably keep them closed at night to make your room dark and cozy for sleep. But if you're heading out and leaving your pup home alone, opening those curtains can make a big difference in their day. An open window provides mental stimulation for your dog. If you live near a street, they can watch people passing by, cars moving, or even the neighborhood squirrels. In rural areas, your pup might enjoy spotting birds, rabbits, or other critters outside, especially if they're a breed with a history of hunting instincts. Open curtains also brighten up the house, allowing natural light to flood in. While dogs see well in low light, they still enjoy basking in sunlight, especially on warm summer days. There's nothing more relaxing for your furry friend than taking a nap in a sun-drenched patch of the floor. So before you head out, take a moment to let the light in. It's a simple way to make their day better. Mistake number 5. If you're worried about your pup getting bored while you're away, leaving the TV or radio on might seem like a great solution. The sound of human voices or gentle music can be comforting for dogs. However, this approach needs to be handled with care to avoid causing more stress than relief. Simply leaving the radio or TV on a random channel might backfire. What starts as a soothing chat show or classical music program could unexpectedly switch to loud or frightening sounds, like thunderstorms or gunshots. These unexpected noises can scare your dog, and without you there to comfort them, they may feel anxious or confused. To ensure this doesn't happen, consider queuing up a playlist or putting on a calming DVD before you leave. This way, you'll know exactly what your dog will be hearing. It's also a good idea to identify sounds that bother your dog, such as certain appliances, and make sure they won't be exposed to those noises while you're out. By planning ahead, you can create a soothing environment that keeps your dog relaxed and entertained in your absence. Mistake number 4. One of the worst things you can do when leaving your dog alone is failing to prepare them properly. If your pup is used to constant companionship, suddenly leaving them alone for hours can be overwhelming. Transitioning from spending all your time together to extended absences requires a gradual approach. Start small. Use a consistent signal, like saying, "I'll be back." Bonus points if you add a Terminator voice. And leave the room for about 5 minutes. When you return, reward your dog with a treat. Gradually increase the amount of time you're away, eventually progressing to stepping out of the house for longer periods. It's important to build up to the length of a full workday over several days, or even a week. This gradual process helps your dog understand that no matter how long you're gone, you'll always come back. The verbal cue reinforces this understanding, making the transition smoother and reducing your pup's anxiety about being left alone. Mistake number 3. One of the best ways to ease your dog's anxiety when you leave is by maintaining a consistent schedule. Dogs are surprisingly good at recognizing patterns, even though they don't wear watches. When you come home around the same time each day, your dog will start to feel a sense of safety and comfort from that regular routine. They'll know exactly when to expect you, and they won't have to worry about when you'll be back. But if that time passes and you're not home, your dog may start to feel uneasy. Without a predictable return time, they'll be left waiting, unsure of when or if you're coming back. They'll likely sit by the door, hoping that the next footsteps they hear are yours. Life can get hectic, and it's not always possible to return at the same time every day. However, trying to stick to a consistent schedule as much as you can will help make your dog's time alone much less stressful and easier to handle. Mistake number 2. No one wants to imagine their dog going hungry while they're away, but leaving a big bowl of food out for them can lead to overeating. While it might seem like an easy fix, it's actually not the best choice. Dogs, like their wild ancestors, have evolved for a feast or famine lifestyle. Wolves couldn't be sure of a meal every day, but when they did get lucky with a big kill, they would eat as much as they could before it spoiled. Today, our domesticated dogs have food available every day, but those old instincts are still there. If you leave your dog with a large bowl of food, they won't be thinking about rationing it into smaller meals. Instead, they're more likely to scarf it all down at once, even if it leaves them feeling uncomfortable later. Not only can this lead to digestive issues and unhealthy weight gain, but it doesn't do much to keep your dog engaged while you're away. A better option is to provide smaller portions of food in ways that are harder to access. You can hide treats around the house or use a puzzle feeder, so your dog has to work for their meal. This not only helps with portion control, but also keeps them entertained longer. Mistake number 1. When you're training your dog to get used to being left alone, you might come across advice telling you to ignore them when they start freaking out. Some people say you should just let them cry it out, thinking they'll eventually get used to it. Others might even tell you that rushing back to comfort them when they're barking and whining will only reward their anxiety and make it worse. However, this approach can backfire. Leaving your dog alone while they're crying may only escalate their panic. They won't understand why you're not coming back, and they could get louder in an effort to get your attention. Instead of ignoring them, try returning calmly and let them know you're there. While you don't need to overdo it with comfort, a little reassurance can go a long way in calming them down. Once they've settled, you can try again by giving them a toy or a treat to distract them and prevent more whining. The goal isn't to force them to suppress their anxiety, but to show them that there's no reason to feel anxious when you're away. With a bit of patience and consistency, you can help your dog learn to stay calm and secure while you're out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out our latest video, 8 proven ways to tell your cat you love them. Your cat will thank you for it.